I just pulled out some homemade bread with some black cumin holy seeds that I just discovered, North African seeds, and it smells delicious. I just pulled this out for dinner tonight, and it reminded me of something really important that my husband and I have added to our homeschool, our Christian homeschool, that we had never before ever seen taught in a school. We discovered there was a subject completely missing from education. And we call this subject the family class. Because what we discovered after mentoring couples for 15 years at our church and leading married couples groups, that there were so many people that didn't know how to have a Christian family, or couples that struggled in their marriage. And we found there were a lot of missing skills, and we found that we needed to start much earlier teaching our children about family, about Christian family, than people then starting basically after you're married to figure these things out. Was a little bit late for a lot of couples, and it caused a lot of stress and a lot of turmoil that we realized could be worked out earlier on, and really families could be just so much more successful. We could really see a lot less divorce within Christian homes. And so part of what we decided to do was add family class. So we had our young women as freshmen in high school read a lot of marriage books, books about the home, books about running a Christian a household, books about respecting respect within a marriage. And a scripture that's a really good one to meditate on, if you're not convinced that this is important, is, especially for young women, is Proverbs 31. And in Proverbs 31, we see a woman who's excellent. She can do so many things. She's a businesswoman. The part that reminds me of the bread is she provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. Also, she opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. So I think about sharing the bread that we have, and being able to have something to offer and have something to share with the needy. And that's what we have wanted to teach and train our kids to be able to take on that responsibility of being a husband or a wife, a mother, a father, and have this fullness that we see in Proverbs 31, to be fully equipped for the role of wife, mother, of a woman who runs her household that Scripture talks about. And there's other scriptures in Timothy and Titus that kind of unveil and really elaborate on the role of a Christian woman within her home and what that's to look like. And really, there's a lot there. Really, there's a lot that needs to be learned about hospitality and opening one's home. There's a lot to be learned about nurturing your children and taking the full responsibility on of what that means. And in our day and age, we have shipped off a lot of these roles to other people. And so people don't even know how to do this anymore. But I wanted to remind you today that Scripture does give us instructions for our young women that we need to be giving to them within their Christian education while they're in our home. And I'd like to add that my husband takes actually a lot of initiative with teaching and instructing my son. He took on his full education around the age of 4th grade. But in terms of being a Christian young man and forming him into a Christian young man, we've taken a lot of time, and he's given him books to read and had him watch videos because my son's more of a visual learner. And so he's learned a lot from Bodhi Bacham. He's learned a lot from teachers that can instruct really well on what does it mean to prepare a home for a woman, and what does it mean to provide for her, to protect her, to be a priest of your home. What does it mean to guide your family? And so he's taken that on, and that's also a part of his. Now he's in his junior year. And so these are definitely topics we're covering before he leaves our home, and especially in the high school years. A lot of people say, why? Well, I'll homeschool up to high school, but they miss the opportunity to really kind of narrow in and focus in on our kids before they leave the home with topics that wouldn't be appropriate for a third grader or a fifth grader to be learning about. And so we have seized that opportunity to the best of our ability to do that.